So the plan here is we're going to put hardwood in this area, but we need to feather into this area. We're going to be putting hardwood in this room here. We also need to feather boards in here. So what Will has done is he's marked off some boards that we're going to be removing, as well as protecting existing boards. So we're going to leave this board in place. We're going to remove this board. We're going to remove this board because it's got a hammer strike here. We're going to leave this board, remove this one, leave, remove, leave. The boards we're going to leave in place, we're going to bevel the edge and join the new board right up to it. So kind of wanted to take you through the process and show you exactly what's involved in getting these boards out and feathering in a floor. So we'll get started. The process is going to involve taking a skill saw and cutting out this area, removing it, and then taking hand tools, chisels mainly, and chiseling all this stuff away to expose the tongue and groove on the existing boards. And you have to be very careful that you don't damage the surface of these boards. And that's why the blue tape there. So it's dusty, it's messy, it's time consuming, and kind of expensive. So we'll take you through the process. Here we are setting the depth of the saw. So we don't want to cut too deep because we'll drive the saw blade into the concrete. So Will is setting the depth of the blade so it'll just skim the surface of the concrete. So you can maybe hear the smoke alarms going off, which is very common, something that we should be prepared to talk to the customer about. Cutting these boards out generates heat, a little bit of smoke, and some dust. So it's very common for the smoke alarms, especially if they're in the vicinity of our work area. The smoke alarms will activate. These are the tools used now to remove the planks.
Okay for me to go now?
Go.
It's about as easy as a hardwood plank comes out right there. That was a real bad example.
Yeah, this one's coming right up. More than likely it's because the guy that installed the original hardwood floor didn't use enough adhesive. So here's the danger is pulling this board out, we can damage these boards.
Okay.
So, and sometimes that happens and you end up having to remove more than you should. But in this case here, it looks like we're going to get lucky with this particular plank. Once you move on, and maybe Greg can clean that out.
Yeah. All right, boss. You got it.
Greg, you have your tools?
Yeah.
You can see the wood is now separated, so the back of the wood is stuck down to the adhesive. Top of the wood has separated. Means we probably won't damage the next board, but it takes a lot longer to get it out. And that is very typical of how these type of things go. Just a quick update. It's been about 45 minutes since I stopped taping last, and you can see the progress we're making. Very slow, very arduous, very messy, very noisy. I probably still have, there's probably a couple of hours worth of work here. This is the really time-consuming part of all this, cleaning out the groove. If you think about it, the board we put in here, the tongue needs to be able to slide into that groove. So it's just painstaking going through here, cleaning all the debris out of it. Back to what I'm doing. It's just coming out in chunks and bits. Very slow work.
Start over.
Okay, we're about 2.5 hours later.
Here's a board.
I'm going to see if it fits.
Yeah, tapping board.
So if it's not completely cleaned out, the grooves on these and the tongue, what happens is the veneer lifts and you end up with a big bulge on the surface. That's why we have to go through the process of removing all of the debris out of the existing tongue and groove area on the boards we didn't remove. So this has taken about 2.5 hours. And I am still not done over here. So total to lace in
60 inches of lacing.
60 inches of lacing is probably going to be about 4 to 4.5 hours worth of labor, taking 2 men half that time. So if you were to put it by man hour, probably 12 man hours to do this. On the other side of you, real quick.
I'm gonna need this apple block. Give me one of those helmets, please.
Keep coming. Good.
Yeah.
Yep. 4.5 hours later. 4.5 hours later, we are finally ready to put the product on this side. This is all done. I'm done with the room.